Now, I actually saw this show a week ago, so sorry for the really late review. The show I'm talking about today is And Now for Something Completely Improvised, and you know what? It's easily one of the best I've seen this Fringe. It's an old school improvised sketch comedy show. So the performers, who are a group called Racing Minds, they get four suggestions from the audience, and then they reward the suggestors with a Werther's, which is nice. And from there, they craft a really really funny story. Well, the one I saw was really funny. It's an improv show, so you never really know what you're going to get. With the skill of these performers, though, you're probably in pretty safe hands. They can really, I guess, take some random, seemingly unconnected words and from there just spin a show out of almost nothing. So obviously the strength of this sort of show relies purely on the performers, and these ones are great. So on stage are Daniel Roberts, Tom Skelton, Dylan Townley, Chris Turner, and Dougie Walker, and you know what? They're really evenly spread for talent. There's not really a weak link amongst them. Now, since it is, as I've said, a completely improvised show, I won't really be spoiling anything if I told you that the show I saw contains some of the most variable Sicilian accents I've ever heard. Numerous mentions of dodgy knees, a surprisingly dark storyline involving vengeful fashion blind tourists, and a smattering of Godfather references. So they start out by greeting the audience in a terribly proper manner, and once everyone's seated, they gather some input from the audience and then launch into the story. It's helped along by a smattering of costume pieces and the live piano accompaniment. The performers play off each other really well, and they seem to have no issues backtracking or otherwise adjusting their roles depending on what's happening. There is one problem with this show, and it's a pretty big one. It's over for Fringe this year, so you can't actually see it. What you can see is another show by the same group called And Now for Something Completely Wireless, which is almost identical apart from being a radio play. Now, that's on until the end of the Fringe, so you should have a chance to see it if you can. Now, I actually saw the Wireless show last night, so I'm going to put straight away after this one another review up on that. So yeah, check that out.